I could tell everybody how we could help you create a lifetime income stream or to help you minimize your taxes in retirement, but I won't. Hi, everybody. Gary Mastrodonato, founder and chairman of the Masters Wealth Management Group, and I'm here to talk to you today about some really important things like trust, confidence, and relationships. These three things are important because your retirement should be about more than just money. It should be about the people and things that are most important to you. At the Masters Wealth Management Group, we cherish the relationships we have built with our clients, having been in practice for over 40 years. And over time, we have earned their trust with the confidence they have that our retirement roadmap process will help them achieve their retirement goals. And we're equally proud that over these strong relationships have turned into lifelong relationships as well. If you want to have a conversation about you retiring to something, not from something, and I mean a real conversation, please accept my invitation for your own complimentary retirement planning discussion. To schedule yours right now, give us a call at 252-249-0100. That's 252-249-0100. Or go online to masterswealth.com.
It's time for Mastering Your Money with Gary Mastrodonato.
My good friend Zig Ziglar once told me, Gary, people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care about them.
Every week, Gary brings you up to date in the world of finance and gives you tried and true retirement tips from his office at the Masters Wealth Management Group in Oriental, North Carolina.
It's the decisions you make in life when you have a choice that will determine where you'll be in life when you no longer have a choice.
For 40 years, Gary has passionately served his clients, helping them retire with confidence.
You know, we treat all of our clients the absolute same. There are no minimums here at the Masters Wealth Management Group.
Now, let's put the wind in your financial sails and your success. Here he is, the master, Gary Mastrodonato.
Hi, everybody. Gary Mastrodonato on the mid-May edition of the Mastering Your Money program. What a pleasure to be with you on this fabulous, fabulous time of year. Springtime, sunshine, it all is great. Is it all great? How about your financial aspects? Are they great? Are they sunny and shiny and warm and fuzzy and cozy? They may not be because we have high inflation. We have rising interest rates. We have all the good things that happen in a government. We have a government that may go bust in another week or so. We don't know. We have turmoil in Ukraine. We have turmoil in Taiwan. We have turmoil around the world. All these things affect the stock market. But why is the market so affected by all the outside sources? Because it has always been since history. But what does that mean to you, the listener? It means a lot, especially if you still have money in your 401k, especially if you still have money in your IRAs, which 95% of Americans have at some point, and especially if you collect Social Security as your primary source of income or a good source of your income. You're not going to want to miss a minute of the Mastering Your Money program today. By the way, in our 41st year of financial radio, 41 years of experience, and we offer opportunities for you to take advantage of the master's experience. And you're going to hear all that on today's program. And I'm going to focus on something today that we normally don't talk about very much, and that's death. Death and taxes. Death and taxes are the two biggest costs in retirement, unfortunately. We can't avoid either taxes or death. You know, I speak to a lot of different people each week from the radio program. And when they call in, an often heard statement is, Gary, I want to talk to you just in case I die. Well, wait a minute now. What do you mean just in case you die? Everyone's going to die. That's how human beings are built. We're built to live and hopefully live a good, long, healthy life. And some people are luckier than others along the way. And some people have greater finances along the way. But cost of dying is very expensive, not only to die, but it also costs a lot of money for the widow or the widower, the surviving spouse, to keep on living on an early death. And we're going to talk about that today. Or a living death. What is a living death? We're going to talk about that today. And that's the inability to be able to perform 2 of 6 of your daily activities. We call that a living death. So we're going to talk about life today a little bit, but we're going to talk about a topic we don't talk much about, but happens to everybody, and that's death. It's not a happy subject, but it's one that we have to face and really gear up on occasion. But when the affairs are in order, you feel a heck of a lot better. Trust me on this one. And you know that as well. So we're going to take a short break to pause and honor our nation's military, our heroes that we have for 41 years, our men and women that keep us safe year-round in the military. We thank you. Our first responders, our police officers, and our doctors and our nurses, anyone that helps keep us healthy and safe, we honor you on today's program, and especially our veterans. We never, ever forget our veterans. We laid the groundwork to keep America the way we are today. And as much as it's trying to crumble around us, we still have the American way, and we're going to get back to that American way, hopefully as soon as possible. Let's take a pause to honor all of our heroes.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
We're back. It's always a pleasure to hear Lee Greenwood. God bless the USA. And I still get a tear in my eye every time I hear that song, no matter where it is, even on the Mastering Your Money program. Has always been our mantra here to honor our military. And we thank you again, military, veterans, police officers, people that put yourself in harm's way every single day to keep others safe. So we thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, on today's program, we're going to talk about death and dying, and the problem with what happens if you live too long. We've talked about that on many shows, and we'll address that again today. But there's also a problem if you die too soon. And that's another problem, because dying too soon is a big problem today in the world. And we had, unfortunately, 11 client deaths this year, which is unusually high. But for a lot of reasons, a lot of our clients are getting older. That's number one. And number two, a lot of them are unfortunately going through cancers and dementia and different things like that, where it's much more prominent today. It's sad, but so prominent. So we have to be ready for the unknown. And we're going to show you how to do that today. But we're also going to show you how to keep yourself living today, living with a lifetime income that you can't outlive, living with maximizing your Social Security that you got to have to really crust the foundation of your total income that you cannot run out of over your lifetime. And also living in the aspect of dignity, because if you need a nursing facility or you need at-home health care, you got to be able to pay for it with dignity. So maybe you can stay in your own home instead of having to move somewhere else where you may not want to be or even wish to be. We're going to talk about that today on the Mastering Your Money program. But before, as always, I'm going to bring on my main man, Mr. Jeff Shea. Jeff, you've been with me for a long time.
Yeah.
I can't thank God enough for the opportunity to have run across each other and to work together. Yeah. And I continue to love what we do together. And Mr. Jeff Shea, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Gary. The feeling is definitely mutual. I'm honored and privileged to be with you here every week on the radio and learning at the foot of the master. I want to say hello, of course, to all the fine people here in Oriental, North Carolina and the surrounding areas, but also our audience in Florida, in the Sunshine State. Hello to you there in Port St. Lucie and Stuart, Florida. We're glad you could join us. Gary, you said something that was very interesting in the beginning of the show, and that was about dying too soon. What's the impact of dying too soon?
Well, dying too soon, it's a great question, but dying too soon on a partnership, especially when you both retire or even before retirement. I mean, many people are dying too young today, but we're assuming retirement age, spouse works his whole lifetime. It happened to my brother-in-law. My poor brother-in-law died too soon, and I'll use a real-life family history. Here's a gentleman that worked 42 years for the Xerox Corporation. He was a Xerox manager. He helped so many people get through their careers and to shape their careers. Unfortunately, he retired at 65 and he died at 67. He had 2 years to enjoy a new home that he and my sister moved into. And of the 2 years, he was sick for a year and a half of that 2 years, which is not very good. And cancer came along in his life and took him pretty rapidly and left his widow, my sister, not high and dry. I mean, he left a nice sum of money, but on the same token, that money is still paying my sister every single month in a pension that I set up for them, and that pension continues to pay out. And the beauty is it will continue to pay out for the rest of my sister's lifetime, along with a Social Security. So they got the money there. There wasn't a lot of life insurance in the plan at the time, and I'm not sure why. I was just a young buck at the time, but I wasn't really focused on the insurance portion of the industry as I am today because it becomes so real and so necessary. And we're going to hear in a few minutes from one of my coaches, Mr. Ed Slott, who is a CPA and does not sell life insurance. He sells no financial products. But Ed is a CPA, one of the top CPAs in the United States, and speaks extremely highly of the importance of permanent life insurance and the tax benefits of such. It's the best deal in town. I can trust that. We're going to talk about that today and the value of life insurance. And Jeffrey, you hear me talk about it every week on the program because it's part of our long-term care plan. As a novice in the industry, but as a professional in the broadcast industry, how do you perceive the life insurance factor? Do you think of it as a burden? Do you see the benefit?
Well, I see life insurance as a benefit if it's purchased correctly, and I really feel that it can fill a gap for the person that's left behind.
Well, what happens when somebody dies too soon? Let's think about it. You got a husband and wife. In the case of my brother-in-law, he died 2 years in, and my sister's income immediately was cut from two areas. Number one, part of the pension that he had fell off. That's number one. And number two, one of the Social Securities, the lower of the two, also had to stop. So they had just turned Social Security on, hardly collected it, and then one had to stop already. And the money he left behind in his pension plan, which then went into an IRA plan, is the money that's supporting my sister today in a very nice way and in a very safe way because we provide safe money to families. And he died in the late 90s, we'll say 1999, well, let's say 2000, that's 24 years ago. And for 24 years, this pension's been paying money out to my sister, and she's getting annual increases in her income, which is really cool. Annual increases, and especially in time of inflation when you need them, and the money will never run out for as long as she lives, which is really phenomenal and beautiful. So you take a scenario like that, and you have a cut in income, but yet you have an investment strategy that continues to rise in income to offset inflation. And that's what we do here at the Masters Wealth Management Group. Now, today we're going to talk about adding one more segment to the plan, and that is a special kind of life insurance. And the life insurance kicks in the day you kick out. And you can kick out whether it be through death, or you can kick out in what I call a living death. A living death is the inability for you or your spouse to perform 2 of 6 of your daily living activities. What are these 2 of 6? Well, they can be something as simple as getting dressed in the morning, but you need help tying a sneaker or a shoe, and your spouse has to help you. That would be considered 1 of 6, folks. It's under the getting dressed category of a living activity. And how about if you needed to help your spouse then guide them to the restroom so they don't fall along the way because their balance may be off a little bit? That's 2 of 6 right there, where you're grabbing your partner's arm and you're just gliding along in a normal walk because of the fact that you don't want to fall. You fall and you break something else, or break a hip, or hit your head, or end up dying or getting injured. Things happen so quickly today. You got to be extra safe. So if you need the assistance of a partner, it does not have to be in a facility, this 2 of 6 then kicks in. And what happens then? You, the individual, the insured, you become the beneficiary of your own life insurance policy. Think about that. You become your own beneficiary. You don't have to die to get the money. You have to have a living death to get the money. And the living death is the 2 of 6 scenario. And here's the cool thing with this plan. You got to be in good health. That's one of the caveats. It's not a caveat, but it's a requirement. You got to be in good health. If you're in good health and can qualify physically, there's a greater than 95% chance that I can help find the money in your plans right now to help pay the premium along the way. And here's the big payoff in 20 years. If you don't die and you don't have a 2 of 6 scenario where you have to collect the money before the 20th year, the life insurance company will give you an option to refund 100% of all the premiums you paid in over that 20-year period. Think about it. A full refund of all the premiums that you paid in. Ask your long-term care company if they'll do that for you. Or ask your long-term care company if you die too soon, if they'll pay you out a $500,000 death benefit when you only paid in, $9,000 in premiums. They'll laugh at you. It doesn't work like that, okay? This plan is the plan of plans, and this is the plan you got to have peace of mind. And this is part of the master plan. And what is this master plan we talk about on the Master and Your Money Show? We've been in business 41 years. Our offices are in downtown Oriental, North Carolina. We love Oriental. We love the area. We love the boating communities out here. There's 19 marinas in Oriental, a lot of marinas, a lot of options, a lot of opportunity. And we are here to really help you to help yourself. And the number to call, of course, 252-249-0100. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about three key components. We're going to talk about maximizing your income, okay? Maximizing your income and your Social Security plans, because Social Security is crucial in the maximization of income. An average individual without the proper planning can leave up to $300,000 on the table to collect Social Security benefits at a reduced rate. And it's unfair to you because you don't know any different. We use one of our coaches, Dr. Larry Kotlikoff, to maximize your Social Security. We don't charge you for this, but we run it through the software program that Dr. K designed for me and for my practice, which is you. You're our practice. So that's number one. Number two, we're going to help you maximize out your pension plan and to make sure you got the right beneficiaries and the right choices of option in your pension. Example, you might have a military pension. Do you take the survivorship option or you just take the full military pension at 100%? What are the options? How's your health? Can we replace the income your spouse may lose if you die too soon? Those are things we need to look at because there's a big financial loss when somebody dies too soon in the environment of that pertained situation. Then we have to take a look at your IRA plans, your 401ks, your outside monies that you've saved on your own. And we try to make sure that those monies are safe and dollars are safe. We can't afford to have you lose any money when you're in retirement. Unfortunately, the last 21 months, people have lost about 28% in their retirement plans. They've lost about 21% in their pension plans, their 401ks, and their IRA plans. And that's what we have to do. We have to stop the bleeding in your plan immediately. We can do that immediately. So we're going to help you do all that. The first 10 callers today at 252-249-0100 will get an option to have a complimentary master plan review. What that means is we will take a look at your IRAs, your 401ks, all the plans you've made to date, whether you're still working, whether you're in retirement already, or whether you're about to retire. We're going to help you to help yourself. First 10 callers get the master plan. You get the free 20-minute interview with the master. And we go on from there. And on the next segment, we're going to talk about our new Meet the Master program, which people are loving and eating right up like candy. And we're going to show you how to get to Meet the Master in the next 2 weeks if you wish to do that at 252-249-0100. So that's 252-249-0100. Gary Masterdonato, in business for 42 years, on radio for 41 years, and we are delighted to be with you on today's program. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about death and dying. But why? Because people die. They die every day, and we can't prevent death, but we can prevent a financial living death for your spouse. We're going to show you how to do that when we come back. So don't go away. There's more to come live on the Master Your Money Show. We've all heard the expression, expect the unexpected. And that's true in life, but when it comes to your retirement savings, we have a saying called expect the expected. Hi, everybody. Gary Masterdonato, founder and chairman of the Masters Wealth Management Group. And our strategies as a retirement planning specialist firm are designed to minimize risk in the ever-changing world and develop a predictable lifetime income that you can't outlive. You know, our team works every day with families to help them take on the unexpected, things in life that shouldn't be all that unexpected. At the Masters Wealth Management Group, we can't predict the future, but we can give you a pretty good idea of what you might expect in your retirement plan, and our goal is to minimize risk and develop predictable lifelong income that you can't outlive. So So call us today at 252-249-0100 for no obligation complimentary financial review. I will personally help you to prepare for the retirement that you expect and eliminate the unexpected. That's 252-249-0100 for a no obligation complimentary financial review. And I will personally help you to prepare for the retirement that you expect. That's 249-0100. Or visit us online at masterswealth.com.
Did you know that the biggest mistake that people make in retirement is doing nothing at all? Retirement just doesn't happen all by itself. It takes planning and it takes experience. Gary Mastrodonato at Masters Wealth Management Group has been retiring people for more than 40 years. Don't let these volatile times of high inflation and market fluctuations affect how you can retire. Gary has a plan to combat inflation and wake up those lazy dollars that you've got in your account right now and put them to work for you. And remember, you don't have a retirement plan unless you have a plan for long-term care. And Gary has the best plan in the business. As a matter of fact, it's the plan that he uses himself. So if you're looking to retire as stress-free as possible, call Gary Mastrodonato at Masters Wealth Management Group for a free, no-obligation consultation. And remember, it's not going to cost you a dime. To get yours, call 252-249-0100. That's 252-249-0100. Or you can request your plan online at masterswealth.com.
You're happily retired now. Hooray for you. Happily retired now. What you gonna do? Strike up the band and orchestra. We'll see you down in Florida. You're happily retired today. It's time for you to oversleep and tell the boss to take a leave. Because you're happily retired today. It's true, you're happily retired today. Hooray!
We're back. Gary Mastrodonato, the Mastering Money program, continuing in mid-May 2023. Pleasure to be with all of you. And our corporate headquarters, by the way, at 807 Broad Street, Oriental, North Carolina, right next door to the U.S. Post Office and across, of course, from the Village Hardware Mart, where Paul always has what you need. He's kind of like the local Lowe's or Home Depot, but better because he's always got what you need. He's never out of what you need. He doesn't even pay me to say that. But nevertheless, 807 Broad Street, Oriental, North Carolina. We love Oriental. And if you haven't been out here in a while, come visit us either at y'all's for one of our Meet the Master lunches or dinners, or at the office at 807 Broad Street. We're happy to meet you in either place. And the Meet the Master lunch or dinner, Jeffrey, we're getting a lot of calls on that. How does that work? Well, here's what exactly we do. If you want to meet with me one-on-one in person, we'd love to meet with you. And we will invite you out to lunch on a Thursday or a Friday. Why Thursday and Friday? Because those are the 2 days that our lunch place is open that's on the water here that's really beautiful in River Dunes. Google it, www.riverdunes.com. Check it out. It's a beautiful location. And while you're here, you'll enjoy the waterfront. You can walk around a little bit. They have the 2022 Idea House here that I understand just recently sold, so congratulations to the new neighbors. But nevertheless, it's a beautiful spot. So we can meet you for a Thursday and Friday for lunch, anytime between 12 and 2 p.m. for Meet the Master Luncheon. Or if scheduling permits you better in the evening, we can meet you for dinner on Tuesday or Wednesday evening upstairs at the Harbor Club, right across the street from the Y'all's Cafe. It's all here on the campus. It's a beautiful location, water views from all seats, and we'll have a nice time, and you can meet the master as well. And dinner will be compliments of the master, so come out and have a nice dinner, but more importantly, come and get your financial scenarios squared away. About 20 to 30 minutes with the master can change your life going forward for the rest of your life. And one of the things we're going to be talking about right now, which we will also bring up in our Meet the Master sessions, is what does life insurance have to do with retirement? Jeffrey?
Well, Gary, just by the very nature of the word life insurance, it really is ensuring the fact that the people that are left behind have enough money to keep on living. But life insurance, I understand, is not just for people who have died.
That's so correct. And that's the new life insurance. You know, most people have the old life insurance, which is the one where you have to die, where the money goes to the beneficiary, which is very admirable, by the way. But the new life insurance does both. If you die, it'll pay your spouse or family, the beneficiaries. If you live and you can't perform 2 of 6, you become the beneficiary of your own life insurance. We call that a living death. So our life insurance plans pay upon death, but there's a final death or a living death. And people may think life insurance has nothing to do with retirement, but the truth is life insurance has everything to do with it. And the people who enter retirement with a significant amount of permanent life insurance will likely enjoy a much happier and more successful retirement than those who don't. However, many seniors are living a just-in-case retirement. One of the key elements of this deals with leaving a legacy to the children. The parents have a diminished retirement because they want to leave something for the kids. Very common in today's day and age. They don't spend their money, and then what happens? They die. And what happens to the money? Well, it goes to their kids, who then use it for the reasons their parents were saving the money in the first place. They want to buy a new boat, a cruise, a country club, etc. The kids now buy the new boat. The kids go on the cruise. The kids join the country club. And it's unfair to you because you worked for the money. You can do both with life insurance. So on the other hand, many people have told me that, Gary, we don't believe that they need to leave their kids anything. Then why do so many people refuse to spend their retirement assets? The retirement paradox can be solved with life insurance. That's what we do every day on the Mastering Your Money show. But that's what we do every day when you come and call the Master and sit with us one-on-one at 252-249-0100. Now, what happens is this. You talk to your spouse, and so many people say, well, honey, I don't want to, and I want to leave $100,000 each child. Okay, you got 3 children, so you need $300,000. And let's leave them life insurance rather than your 401k plan. Why? Because the 401k plan is infested with taxation. Life insurance goes to the beneficiary totally income tax-free. So you ask the child or the children, would you rather get tax-free money or taxable money? Well, everybody's going to say tax-free. And that's what life insurance does. But the bottom line is, here's the big key. If you can't perform 2 of 6 of your daily activities, that's called a living death. And that's the reason that people run out of money before they die today, is taxes and long-term care costs. Healthcare costs are exorbitant today, more than ever. And it's eating up the money you've saved for retirement because of the fact that you're using the money for healthcare costs and not for what you really intended it to be, and that was income during your retirement. If you have a change of health or your spouse has a change in health, you redirect the money because that's the only big chunk of money you have to pay for those expenses. We were talking last night at dinner, and one of the people I had dinner with indicated, on a Meet the Master evening, by the way, but one of the people I had dinner with indicated that her dad and mom, who live in California, the mom has dementia, and they looked at bringing someone in part-time into the home on a daily basis, and it's about $20,000 a month, about $300 to $400 per day or more if you're in a facility, and you add about 30% to that if you're at home on a private pay basis. And the beauty about our plans is we give you the option of whether you want to stay at home if you need that kind of service, or if you need to go into a facility for your family's sake and for your safety, you need to do that. But you have the money to do either, and you have it paid out tax-free to you, which is really crucial. You think about this. Let's say you got $800,000 in your retirement plan, which is very common today for a lot of people that are living in their 60s and they're making more money and they were savers from early on. Not unusual to have an $800,000 retirement plan. And all of a sudden you look at the account and you go, wow, it's costing us now $12,000 a month for mom who's got dementia. So we got to pay out to the nursing home $12,000 a month. To do that, we've got to pull out about $16,000 a month because of the new higher tax plans that we have in America. But nevertheless, the higher taxes have to be paid as you're pulling the money out. So you're taking out about $16,000 a month from your retirement plan. It's about $180,000, $190,000 a year. You got $800,000. That's about 4 years of services. And that doesn't count inflation, because inflation can raise the prices of the nursing home cost as well, or the daily cost for an in-home service provider. Remember inflation. Inflation right now, the government says is at around 5%, 5.25%. We're telling you much higher than that because food prices are going up at about 14% a year or higher. Gas prices are beginning to rise again as summer creeps in. And cost of everything, used cars, homes, everything is still rising. Go to the clothing store and buy clothes. That's sky high. Shoes are $800-900 a pair, Jeffrey. You're talking about makeup beforehand.
Yeah.
For the spouses.
Yeah.
How about shoes? They have a red heel, double that price.
Didn't know that. I'll stay away from those.
Christian Louboutin.
Right. Louboutin, whatever it is.
Louboutin. I'm sure the wife glazes at those on occasion.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
Now, those Louis Vuitton purses are, I can speak from experience, they're $2,100 too. So
Or higher. That's
or
the
higher,
entry-level
yeah.
purse.
That's a cheapie. Yeah, I got it.
Anyhow, things are pricey. People like class and people like style, and they deserve that, but it costs money to do that. So what do we have to do? You got to pick up the phone and call 252-249-0100. What am I going to do for you? We're going to run you through the entire master plan review. It takes about 20 minutes by telephone. You invest 20 minutes. I'll invest 42 years of experience and all the experience of 12 of the best financial coaches in the United States. I can assure you of that. Coaches like Ed Slott, coaches like Tom Hegna, coaches like Denise Appleby. These people are tax specialists and retirement distribution specialists. Coaches like Dr. Larry Kotlikoff, our Social Security guru, who designed the software that I use on a day-to-day basis to help you increase your Social Security payments to you every single week and every single month that you receive a check. It's going to be higher because of Dr. K and your association with me. So don't leave money on the table. You earned it. You paid for it into the system. Let's show you how to get it back out of there at the maximum amount, not the minimum. Number to call, 252-249-0100. First 10 callers right now, 252-249-0100. We give you the master plan review, no cost ever to you, and we'll give you 20 minutes on the phone. If we can help you, we'll then set up a time to go another hour or so together and review what you've got. We can get you squared away pretty quickly. Why? Because 42 years of experience has all the elements in place of knowing how to master your situation. So come to the master. We've been retiring people for 42 years. It's a different science when you're taking money out of a plan than putting money into the plan. And you got to know what you're doing when you're pulling money out of the plan. And that's just how it works. So the number to call, 252-249-0100. Myself and my entire team will take a look at your situation and help you to help yourself. And we'll help you immediately. 252-249-0100. It's mid-May 2023. We'll have you done by the end of June, and you'll be off to a great summer where you can rest assured knowing that if anything were to happen to you or your health or a change in health, you are covered from head to toe, and that's the key, folks. You got those gaps filled, and we'll even give you a dental plan because we got a new dental plan we never even talked about, but it's phenomenal. If you're in retirement age, it's a great plan. It covers, I think, all the way up to $3,000 worth of dental benefits, and it covers immediately on your first premium. 2 cleanings and the whole enchilada. Very, very reasonable, very inexpensive. And age has nothing to do with dental plans, which is really cool. There's no health qualifications, no health questions, nothing. If you're going to the dentist, give us a call, 252-249-0100. Jeffrey, smile. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to look at your pearly whites and see if we can't get those cleaner for you. And at the same time, we're going to go into the next topic, which is planning. Planning. It's so crucial to plan properly in today's day and age. And we're going to show you how to tie in your insurance plan along with maximizing your income, maximizing your Social Security, taking the right choices when it's time to receive your pension plan. And maybe you can retire earlier. And that's a topic we're going to bring up as well. Many people think you have to work 2 or 3 years longer now because of what happened in the market. You come in to see me, and you'd be surprised how we can regenerate your income plan back to where it was before the sell-off and make it whole, and you can retire maybe even this year. Wouldn't you like that? So give us a call at 252-249-0100. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. There's more to come live. I'm Gary Master Donato. The Master in Your Money Show continues right after these words from our favorite sponsor. That'd be me, the Master. Be right back. Well, hi, everybody. Gary Master Donato from the Masters Wealth Management Group. Hey, have you ever been on an airplane and run into turbulence? So what did you do? Did you open the door and jump out? So why not just bail? The same can be said when it comes to market volatility. Should you jump out of the market every time there's a drop? The market has never gone to zero, so maybe we should stop referring to market crashes and instead say market turbulence. Turbulence can be very scary, but it's the uncertainty that can bother people most. And recent uncertainty is making you feel uncomfortable, and there's a good chance you aren't confident in your current retirement plan. So get organized, gather financial statements from all of your accounts, and get a second opinion on the state of your portfolio. This will also tell you if your risk tolerance matches your risk exposure, or if you would be better suited for an investment that is guaranteed to protect you from future market turbulence. Remember, whether you're flying or retiring, it's normal to hit some turbulence from time to time, but let's talk before you jump. Call me, Gary Masterdonato, at 252-249-0100, or on my website, you can visit at masterswealth.com.
What month comes after April? It's the month of May. And May has 31 days. Memorial Day is at the end of May. We honor soldiers who gave their lives so we can live with freedom in America and stand proud as our flag flies high. What month comes after April? It's the month of May.
We're back. Gary Masterdonato, the Master Money Program, mid-May 2023. And what an honor to be with all of you in our 41st year of financial radio, 42 years in practice, and we love every day of this business. It gets better each day. A little more challenging each day, too, I might add. And we're talking today on the Mastering Your Money Program about life insurance and the benefits of life insurance. And do you really need life insurance once you're retired or once you're older? I mean, most people say, hey, I only need life insurance when I'm younger. Why do we need it when we're older? Well, we're going to talk about that in a moment. And what does it do for me that's different today than what it did back when I bought it as a young man, when I had 2 or 3 little children running around the house? And did I really have enough insurance then as well? Well, we're not going to be zeroing in on that, but we're going to talk about the different types of life insurance and why it's so important to you and why you should listen to the master, because life insurance is a living document of testimony, and it also pays off at the time of death. But the life insurance we're talking about today is what happens if you have a living death. What is a living death? It's if you die too soon, but you're still alive. Die too soon physically, where you can't perform 2 or 6 of your daily activities, but you're still alive, which means it's costing a lot of money to keep you going at this point. And you may not have a serious problem, but it's still expensive to get you through the different ups and downs of this kind of scenario. So we're talking on the Master Your Money Program today. By the way, our office is at 807 Broad Street in Oriental, North Carolina. Been in business 42 years, and on Financial Radio, the Master Your Money Program, created 41 years ago. Very proud of that and very happy to be with you today. The number to call, 252-249-0100. We cover all of Eastern North Carolina, Florida, and anywhere else that Fox has streaming capabilities, along with my co-host Jeff Shea. And you're my main soundboard here, and you keep me going here on the upside and the backside of the program. Hey, listen, we're going to take a look at life insurance and what happens when you have life insurance or you don't have life insurance. And one of the big questions is, do I need life insurance? I'm retired now. What am I going to do with life insurance? Well, it fills a hole that nothing else can fill in the financial product line. And it fills a hole of deficit. If you die too soon, your spouse has a problem. If you die too soon, your children may have a problem. If you have a needy child, or if you're still retired and live too long, you can have a problem that way as well. So there's a lot of different places that life insurance can fill the gap. The differences and nuances of the most popular types of life insurance is, you have term insurance, which most people get when they're younger. Very expensive when you're older, so we don't normally talk about term insurance at the older ages. The different types of insurance and the special insurance that I like, which is the kind of insurance that pays for a living death. It also pays for a real morbid death, like final death. And remember, we're all going to die, unfortunately, and that's just how it is. That's a fact of life. Death and taxes are 2 main facts of life. Taxes will never go away, and death will never go away. But, the taxes are always paid first, right after the death. I mean, the tax man comes knocking on the door. He does while you're alive and comes on the last day of your lifetime as well. They want to get paid for what you made and what you do. They want to tax it all. And unfortunately, that costs money. And the larger your estate, the more money it's going to cost. But, the biggest cost of retirement is the cost of long-term care. And most people don't have long-term care. And that's our experience in 41 years in the retirement distribution planning business. Everybody needs long-term care. And I have a saying that if you don't have long-term care, you really don't have a retirement plan. How true that is. And it's so crucial if you don't have long-term care. And there's a lot of different kinds of long-term care coverages you can get, as there are a lot of different kinds of life insurance coverages you can get. My favorite of the two is where they marry each other. The life insurance marries the long-term care plan, and they become one, so that if you die, the face amount of the life insurance gets payable to your surviving spouse or your family. But if you live and you can't perform 2 of 6 of your daily activities, you become the beneficiary of your own life insurance plan. Think about that. So let's take an example, Jeffrey, of a male age 65, and let's say he's got $500,000 in his retirement plan, and he retires, and he calls the master and says, "Hey, I'm just retiring and listen to your radio show. I like what you do. I know you're a retirement distribution planning specialist. You have to get me through from now until the day we die." And we, meaning spouse and I, and we got to help out each other along the way here. What do we do? Well, we're retirement distribution planning specialists. It's different than when you're accumulating money. When you're accumulating money, it's a simple spot from the time you come to see us to the time you retire. It might be 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's a finite number. When you retire, we don't know how long you're going to live. We don't know how healthy you're going to be during your lifetime. We don't know the kind of money you're going to need during your lifetime to bonus on, to travel on, to visit grandchildren on, what your goals and objectives are at those points. We don't know what your health is going to be like 2 years, 5 years, or even 30 minutes from now. A couple days ago, a very good friend of mine was just diagnosed with breast cancer, and it's sad. And she called me crying, and she wanted me to go with her to the radiologist when they're going to do more extensive testing. She's all by herself, and I told her I'd attend with her, so I had to change my calendar around a little bit for Friday. But, people need each other, and we need each other along the way. So that's going to be my objective on Friday morning, is to assist her. First of all, she's uninsurable now with the spot on the breast. No question about that. She cannot buy life insurance. So you have to buy life insurance when you're healthy. And when you got the health, we'll provide the wealth through paying the premium. So you came to see us, you got $500,000 in your retirement plan. We want to keep your money safe. It's a horrible economy, interest rates rising, inflationary times. Stock markets are all over the fence. They're up 10 minutes from now. They're down 30 minutes from now. You can't make money in the market right this moment, and it may not come back for 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Not 3 weeks, 6 weeks, or 10 weeks. We're talking years, long-range years. Why? Because we have no leadership in Washington. We have no budget in Washington. We have no debt ceiling in Washington right now. We got a mess. We have problems in Russia, problems in Taiwan, the Chinese, the Russians. The world is in chaos. I mean, it's just a bad time. I've never seen it like this in my lifetime. You probably have never seen it like this in your lifetime. And most people say that all the time. So what do? I mean, we got to protect ourselves. We got to keep our own money safe. We can only control what we can control, which is our future, our plans, our money. Those are the things that we have control on. We can't control what the government does or what the world does. We got to, do our best to play the percentages and what we have to do from the perspective of longevity risk. Longevity risk means you're living longer than we normally used to live. And instant death, that's a different story. People die quickly every day. Like I said earlier in the show today, we had 11 client deaths this year so far, year to date. And not everybody's older. Some were older, but some are young. We had a 36-year-old pass on with brain cancer. That darn cancer is horrible. We had a 49-year-old with cancer. My sister-in-law passed about a month ago with cancer. And it goes on, and it just doesn't stop. So we got to be ready, not to paint a bleak picture, but we have to be realistic about it, because people need to go on living when someone else dies. And that's what the gap of life insurance fills. And you might die a living death without a physical death. And that's the part that you get to deal with while you're still alive. And that's the part we're talking about right now on the Mastering Your Money Show. How do we fill the gap if you have a living death, period? And that's the problem. So the problem is simple. We need to have a plan in place that takes care of that situation. If you have $500,000 in your account and you come to see me and we put you in our special master plan, retirement plan, we have an insurance company right now that'll give you a 20% bonus on that. So let's say the $500,000 is now $600,000. 20% of $500,000 is $100,000. They put $100,000 in your account. You now got $600,000. And let's say you're 65 years old, and let's say the cost of buying life insurance for $100,000 is about $3,000 a year, or about 3%. So let's take $3,000 a year out of your retirement plan early, even if you're not retired. And out of that $600,000, $3,000 a year is just a very small. It's about 0.5%. It's not very much. So let's take that money out. Or if we want $200,000, let's take 1% out and get $6,000 a year of premium. You're going to get it all back. And the more we have, the better it's going to pay you, because remember, it pays you in your hand while you're alive. And the cool thing is that if you don't die, which we hope you don't, and you don't have a living death, which we hope you don't, the insurance company will refund 100% of all your money back to you in 20 years. Seems a long way out, but there's also cash value that builds up along the way if you have an emergency where you can take out some of that money and use it for other expenses. We encourage you not to do that because it throws off the actuarial calculation, but still in all, you have the option. But nevertheless, we'll find the money and we'll keep your money safer so you don't lose any more money in your retirement plans. And you can still lose a lot in the next 3 to 5 or 6 years. This economy is not coming back like last times. We're all used to having this thing bounce back in 6 months to a year. It's different this time, way different. We interview a lot of people on this radio show. It's different. We hear the economists say it's different. We hear the professional prognosticators say it's different. Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger the other day at their annual meeting says it's different. Charlie Munger is a pretty sharp dude at 99. He's sharp as a tack. He'll tell you the story. He says, it's different. Don't expect things to be a quick change this time around. It's going to take a long time. Warren Buffett says the same thing. So pay attention to what smart people are saying, experienced people, and pay attention to what the master says. We've been on the air 41 years, in practice 42 years. I can't predict the market, but I can read the economy. And the economy says not a good time to be in the market, period. So let's be safe. If you want to know what to do right now with your money, if you want to know right now how to keep your money safe, how to keep your family safe, how to protect your family against a living death on your part, how to protect your family against an early death on your part, let's put it all together. Let's put the plans in place while you're healthy. I'll find the money to pay for it. You provide the health, and together we will walk down the road with our heads up high. You'll feel a lot better. Come July 4th morning, all your plans will be in place, and you, my friends, will be a very happy camper for the next half of the year, and you can enjoy your summer and not worry about what. But here we are. Our plans are steady and in place. Our wills are updated. Everything's in perfect order, and the masters helped out a lot in this scenario. So if you want help as to what to do right now, pick up the phone right this moment, or if you're driving, when you stop, and dial 252-249-0100, or call us. We have operators on duty 24/7. Doesn't matter when you call. Jeffrey, we got a call the other evening, or the other morning, I should say, at 3:30 a.m. to the office.
Wow.
Somebody wanted to bless their hearts, but they wanted to make an appointment to meet with the master. They were on their way on a trip somewhere. They were driving. They said, the wife called and said, we're on our way out of town. We're not normally up at this hour. Don't think we're crazy, but we want to make an appointment with you. We listen to you on the air. Thank you for the show, and we want to come meet with you, or we want to talk with you anyway. So the number to call, 252-249-0100. Let us help you to guide you through your crucial times of planning that are so crucial and so important. It's the most important planning you can do outside of an annual physical. I can tell you that. Your annual physical is going to be important. This is your financial physical, just as important. Maybe just a hair in second place. I would take the annual physical first. 252-249-0100 for the financial physical. The Masters Wealth Management Group, in business 42 years. That's longer than most people have had a chance to drive their last automobile, Jeffrey. I know people still driving a car from 42 years ago.
I do too.
I'd like to buy a nice car from 42 years ago if I could as well.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll come back and wrap the show up here. 252-249-0100. Don't go away. I'm Gary Masterdonato along with Jeff Shade. We're going to be right back. Don't go away. There's much more to come live on the Mastering Your Money Show.
If you've ever headed out on a trip in your car to someplace you've never been before, would you do it without a map or a GPS or some plan on how to get there? If you're looking for a retirement roadmap, call Gary Mastrodonato at Masters Wealth Management Group. He'll design a plan made especially for you. A plan that covers Social Security, income planning, tax planning, and long-term care expenses. And he'll put it in one easy-to-read master plan designed especially for you. If you'd like to take the uncertainty out of retirement, call to schedule your complimentary no-cost, no-obligation consultation with Gary. Call 252-249-0100. That's 252-249-0100. It'll only take about 30 minutes, but it could be the best 30-minute time investment you'll ever make. So call 252-249-0100 or request your plan online at masterswealth.com. That's masterswealth.com.
We're back. Gary Masterdonato, the Mastering Your Money Show continues. We're talking about the real need for life insurance in retirement. Do we need life insurance when we're retired? We talked about it most of the show today. Remember, you can always go to our podcast after the program if you missed a lot of the show. Gary Masterdonato, Mastering Your Money Show. Jeffrey, is that correct? Wherever podcasts are found?
Yeah, we've got a lot of podcasts on there, all with a very unique title. This one is titled Dying Too Soon. So if you haven't heard the entire program, you can find it on our podcast, wherever you get all great podcasts.
Good. You can call it Dying Too Soon or Living Too Long. Same problem.
Either way. Maybe we'll just
you live too long, you're going to run out of money. You die too soon, your spouse runs out of money, and it's a big problem either way.
We'll put both the titles in there.
All right. So do you need life insurance in retirement, Jeffrey? That's a question. Many people argue that they don't need any of that money. And I say to that, if you don't need the money, then what do you want this money to do for you when you die that you've got? And they say, well, they'll leave it to the kids. And I remind them that this may not be a smart option. Why? Because you got income taxes. You have estate taxes, potentially. At least North Carolina estate taxes. You have income in respect to a decedent can wipe out up to 50% or more of that money. You don't even know what that is. They catch you on the backside. We go through that with you when we're doing your estate plan type informational work here that will help you with it. No fee, by the way. It may be better to use the money to pay for life insurance premiums for a policy that could go income and estate tax free to your family. And we'll show you how to supercharge your RMD maximization ideas, because RMDs is what you have to take out of your account every year. How about if we transfer those required minimum distributions to a life insurance plan, and when you die, it pays all the taxes on your IRA plans that you're leaving to your family? What do you think of that? That's a great idea as well, because remember, life insurance, folks, is buying dollars at a discount. So I always tell people this. If you're willing to buy and spend $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a month in a long-term care facility, why don't we pay for that with discounted money, discounted dollars? We have a lot of clients, for example, that are out there calling me and asking, you know, Gary, I'd like to move into this retirement place in Texas or Florida, somewhere like that, that has a entry fee of, say, $300,000, and we got the money in our account. Can I get $300,000 out to put that as a down payment, and then I have to pay $3,000 a month to live in this place, even though we're not ready to move in yet? I go, well, if you're not ready to move in yet, why do you want to buy it now? They say, well, because the prices are going up. Well, the prices are going up on everything that's called inflation, and more needs are creating right now. And remember, the longer you wait to get one of these places, if you want to get them, and many people like that lifestyle, that's fine. But how about if your special life insurance contract paid for that whole thing at a discount? How about instead of paying $300,000 or $400,000 to get in, if you paid just a fraction of that money, maybe 6-7% of that money to buy in? What do you think of that? Or to buy into your long-term care facility if you need the facility immediately. How about if your life insurance plan can pay for that at a big discount? Why use your own money to pay that off? Or paying your mortgage off early. Why would you want to pay with 100-cent dollars when you can use discounted dollars, discount dollars for pennies apiece? If you're 65, we can buy money for about 0.5% per dollar. If you're about 70, you're paying about 1.5% per dollar per year. to rent the money. You don't need to buy the money, rent it. And it pays off in full as an owner the day you die or the day you have a living death. And that's what we're talking about here when we're talking about these types of things. There's strategies we use on a day-to-day basis that are incredible and so crucial to a family. Let's use an example of the master plan and the master's personal long-term care plan. We'll use my plan, for example, that I'll share with you now. I have a special life insurance plan that does the following. If I die, it pays my beneficiaries the full face amount of the insurance, 100% on the dollar, and it pays it to them income tax free. And I'm paying for it with dollars out of my retirement plan, where I'm pulling the money out early because I'm not retired yet. I'm taking the money out early to pay the premium on these dollars because that money is in a different pocket but means so much more than the money would mean if we were just in the IRA or the Roth IRA. Pull it out of those babies. I'll show you how to get a Roth on steroids from experience. We show you how to do that and to make it live and to make it work. That's how it works. But let's just say that the master plan now, we're taking money from my retirement plan and giving a small percentage of that on an annual basis to the insurance company. In exchange, they give me a contract that says this. If I die, they're going to pay my family $1 million. If I live and can't do 2 of 6, they're going to give me the $1 million in my hand, totally income tax free. I love that idea. I don't mind paying the premium under that pretense. Some people don't want to pay the premium if you're never going to see the money and you got to die to get it. You know, people love their families, yes, but how much do they love their families? A lot, but are they willing to take money from the retirement plan and put it into that plan? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Not everybody is, but a lot of people are, and I admire them. But this plan will pay you the $1 million if you can't perform 2 of 6 of your daily activities. And the cool thing is, if neither one happens, if I don't die in 20 years and I don't have a living death in 20 years, I get all of my money back. They give me a cashier's check, and that's tax-free in my hand for the premiums that I've paid in for that 20-year period if I choose. I don't have to cash it out at that time, but if I choose, I can have the money back. And that is so crucial to know that I'm going to get my money back one way or the other, dying, living, death. It doesn't matter. The money's going to come back to my family or to me, not the insurance company's pocket, in my pocket or my family's pocket. And that's what this plan is all about. We call it the master plan. Let us give you an example of how this works in your life, in your financial plan. And let me give you an example of how to keep your money safe, or safer, I should say, especially in times right now when the monies and the markets are selling off dramatically. And in your 401ks, if you're 59 and a half and you're still working in the company and you got a large amount in your 401k, let's move some or all of that to a safe money environment and keep those dollars safe so that when you retire in another year, 2 or 3, you can retire. You don't have to extend your retirement. I can't tell you how many people have had to extend the retirement from 2022 and 2023 to 3 or 4 years later down the road, and it's not fair to you to do that. So give us a call at 252-249-0100. That's 252-249-0100. Myself and my entire team, not only in Oriental, North Carolina, but around the country. We got 12 of the best coaches in the U.S., and we use the very best of the best. You know, Tom Hegna, Ed Slott, Denise Appleby, Dr. Larry Kotlikoff, Nick Murray, and we go on and on. We've got the coaches, we've got the experience, and we got the know-how of how to help you to help yourself. I can't make that any more clear. And Jeffrey, I'm about exhausted from telling you what we're going to do for you. So all right. I think we've said it all on this show right now, 42 years of experience. So
right. Let's
close with the prayers we always do, and then we'll wrap up the program. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to speak to our listening audience, and we thank you for the listeners that tune in the last 41 years, and all of you on a day-to-day basis. And please keep us safe, keep our money safer, help the plans formulate that Gary's talking about, and help us to qualify for these things and to feel more peace of mind for our families and for ourselves. In Jesus' name we pray, and keep our children and grandchildren safe. We thank you, Jesus, our Heavenly Father. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Gary Masterdonato. We've been in business 42 years. It's been a pleasure to be with you today, along with my co-host, Jeff Shade, in the other room. Jeffrey, thank you, sir.
You know it's always a pleasure, Gary.
And to our whole team in the Oriental, North Carolina office, along with our team around the United States and our 12 coaches, the best in the business, we thank you for listening. We're wrapping up the Mastering Your Money show for this time around, but join us. We've been on the air 41 years, and we'll see you all again next time, right here live on the Mastering Your Money show.
No statements made during the Mastering Your Money show shall constitute tax, legal, or accounting advice. You should consult your own legal or tax professional on your individual information. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No investment strategy, including asset allocation or diversification, guarantees a profit or the avoidance of loss.